Hello, my friends. If you are checking in and hearing this on replay, I totally understand because I didn't plan this at all, literally 30 minutes ago, but we decided to go ahead and do it. So here we are on a Labor Day evening. Happy Eve, Labor Day Eve, I guess, to everyone. If you're new to this, my name is Alan C. Paul. Now I'm coming live where I usually don't, at least in two places. I usually do these live streams from my Garden Gigs pages. So you'll see all around here. This is the Garden Gigs layout. This is where I do my lives on 1 p.m. Eastern every single Friday. I do these lives for Garden Gigs. And I also do this to Facebook. And I believe I went to my personal Facebook and I went to my personal Instagram. So those of you who are watching me there, you're probably like, okay, this is different. He's not playing piano. No, this is not about piano today. I do have some performances coming up if you want to hear about them, but I'm kind of just figured that this is a good place for me to share kind of while people are maybe getting ready for Labor Day. Maybe you're perhaps just like checking in. And I thought this was be a good moment for me just to say hi to those of you who have not had a chance to check out the live streams that I do on Fridays, because maybe that's on a time that you're at work and you're not connected with Garden Gigs. So that's not a time that you see me anyway. So I figured this is a good chance for me to kind of check in, especially for a lot of you who are checking in with me personally. There have been a lot of situations going on in my family, which I wanted to say thank you to a lot of you. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm trying to be very private at the same time being open and authentic. So that's why I'm not mentioning details, but I am saying thank you, like directly out to the people who are very, very much connected to me and are sharing, have been blessing me and my family. So I thought it would also be a good way to kind of kill two birds with one stone, show my face, talk about what's happening in my life, talk about what's happening in Garden Gigs, and do all this on a weekend where a lot of folks are jumping in, jumping out, maybe going on holidays, and maybe they don't check their emails and so on. So it's like, let me just go live and see if I can do all this together. So if you want to check in, you want to say hi, if you're going to jump back out and you're not really interested in this, that's cool. But this is kind of like a one size fits all where I'll be talking about what's happening for Garden Gigs, as well as some announcements that I think will impact a lot of you. And yeah, let's just see what happens, how this night goes. I see my cousin is here. Jocelyn Marina is here. Hello, my friend. And yeah, like I said, those of you who are personal friends, and I'm going live on my personal pages, once again, I want to say that my wife is doing amazing. That's kind of like how I could just give everybody like the overview, right? Like, so Leah's doing great. And I appreciate all the prayers that everybody that has been checking in with us. And that's kind of like how, and people can like DM me and everything like that if they want to like get more details and know more. And that's kind of how, like I said, how I want to handle that. But it just felt good to at least be able to say that out loud to everyone that we're doing great and that we really appreciate all the prayers and all the kind words and everything over the last few days. But yeah, I also feel like this is a very good opportunity for, and by the way, if I'm being heard okay, if you can hear okay, can you give me some thumbs up? Can you give me some love or hearts or comments? Because that's the other thing when I go live, I oftentimes forget that my technical stuff is going, and then I'll be just moving my lips like this and there's no sound. So if you're watching and checking me out for more than a couple of seconds, could you give me a live thumbs up, a hey, how you doing? Anything like that where the comment comes back, it's like, okay, now I know that people are actually listening and not my lips just moving and there's no sound. So I'll wait a second just to make sure that's working. Because like I said, anytime that I'm like talking and I don't see a comment, there's a possibility that nobody hears. Okay, I see a thumbs up. And let me know where you're watching from as well. Let me know where you're checking in from. And you know what also would be fun? Let me know what your Labor Day plans are. Let me know what your Labor Day plans are. Lavelle Hawkins, good to see you, brother, over here on Instagram. This is cool. Yeah, I was not planning to go live, you guys. Like I just, sitting here working on a bunch of stuff. And again, thankfully, my wife is doing amazing. So she's hanging out downstairs watching movies and stuff. And I'm kind of fiddling around here. And, it's a little different of a holiday because it's like, okay, you don't have to go to work in the morning. And we don't have any plans to do anything special tomorrow. So we're just chilling, which is weird. And our pastor preached about rest today. So Maybe this is not rest. Maybe this is rest because I'm kind of reconnecting with some of you virtually. Lavelle, great to hear from you again, man. Like, your podcast interview is still one of my favorites. We got to bring that back out. As a matter of fact, you got to get back on the podcast, man. Let me know if you are available. We had such a great conversation. And that leads me to one of the things I wanted to talk about tonight, because the podcast episode is going to be episode 300. I have reached episode 300 on the God and Gigs show as a podcast. We started this week, right around Labor Day weekend, 7 years ago. So my podcast is now 7 years old. And now my book, Succeed as a Musician Without Sacrificing Your Faith, this is the 8th year of the anniversary. So 8 years ago, I wrote God and Gigs, Succeed as a Musician Without Sacrificing Your Faith. 7 years ago, I started the podcast, The God and Gigs Show. And now the God and Gigs Show was about to hit episode 3. Thank you so much, Lavelle. It's going to hit episode 300. Now, here's the announcement. One of the reasons why I decided, let me go live, because some of you might say, okay, great, episode 300, where is it? Well, it's not going to come out on the day that it normally comes out. As you guys can probably guess from some of the hints I'm giving, it's been a kind of a crazy weekend. And it makes no sense for me to try to rush episode 300 and try to get it done before tomorrow morning. Would just be impossible and would really be a disservice to 300 episodes. So it's just kind of like my announcement to anyone, if you're waiting with bated breath, but probably you weren't. But for those of you who are looking for the episode tomorrow, it's not going to come out. Episode 300 will not come out Monday morning. Now, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to get it out this week. I had something special kind of planned, and I was like, you know what? Let me just take my time and release this episode when it really feels right, because episode 300 deserves, more than just to be rushed out. So that's kind of like my little announcement for anybody that was looking for the God and Gigs podcast tomorrow morning. It will not come out tomorrow morning. And again, I think now that I think about this weekend, it makes perfect sense with everything that went on that it doesn't come out this weekend. And episode 300 deserves a great, I don't know. I don't know what you think episode 300 should be. I'm still trying to figure out what episode 300 should be, to be honest with you. So I would love any comments if you have any ideas for 300 episodes. I have my idea, but I'm still kind of like floating whether I should do what I'm thinking of doing for my episode 300. But it will be this week. And I just felt it was important for me to honor the anniversary of my book, the anniversary of the podcast, and really the anniversary of God and Gigs growing to what it has been, by sharing kind of where everything is in my heart and how much this weekend has touched me and my family, to see how we were embraced and how all of these things that I talk about, relationship and being connected to your creative life and your creator, writing this devotional. By the way, I'm also working on another devotion for the YouVersion. Some of you asked me, when are you going to write another? Why did you write only a 3-day for the YouVersion app? Because again, life. But I am working on another devotional for the YouVersion app. So that'll come out hopefully very soon. I'm going to try to finish that up this week as well. So those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, there is an app called YouVersion, which is the Bible app. And I did write the Creator's Craft, which is a Bible plan, on the YouVersion app. So you can get that as well on the YouVersion. We released that back in June. And so that's out. And I need to work on another one, because I'm just doing a 3-day devotional. I meant to do like one every month and it didn't come out. So anyway, thank you guys for joining in. There's people joining in. Let me know what you're doing for your Labor Day weekend. As I'm sharing, I would love to know kind of like what you're going to do tomorrow, how you're going to rest. Are you staying in? Are you staying home? Are you going to be going out to the beach? Like some of you guys are probably in different areas where maybe you're going to the beach. There is a beach to go to. You're going to the pool. So I'd love to know what you guys are doing tomorrow for Labor Day weekend. As I said, I have no plans right now. I am going to be staying in and relaxing with my wife and resting as we should. But also doing some, I think what my Pastor Chris at Metro Life Church preached about today is very, very appropriate, which is, I don't know about you, but I've always felt guilty about, a little guilty about working when I'm supposed to be resting. But I've also found, and agree with me, send me some hearts that you agree with me, that sometimes you can rest by working. And that's what I've found. Like I enter some very calming states by working on things. So I am going to work on some things. And one of the things I am working on, and just sharing if you're interested, is that I am working on a new quiz for God and Gigs. And it's a quiz that will help people decide what kind of Christian creative they are. And I'm really excited about this. I'm literally working on it right now, and I'm tempted just to share it with you. Matter of fact, if you DM me or message me and just put quiz, write quiz, because this is literally not done. Like I'm literally working on it right now. So, oh, and I could pop up your comments, by the way, if you're commenting on YouTube or Facebook and you share a comment, I can pop it up on the screen. I don't know if you guys, some of you aren't used to me going live, so you didn't know that. Lavelle says, me and mine will be staying in tomorrow to rest. Life's been crazy busy. Tomorrow is a much needed pause. Yes. And you know what's really interesting about this weekend, man, is it's funny that the government has to tell us to pause or give us a break. Obviously, this has a lot to do with the labor unions and people, fighting for the right to not have to be slaves to this, to working. And that's important. Obviously, I'm not going to go to the whole corporate, whatever thing. It's just important that rest comes in. But as I mentioned in my, I think it was LinkedIn, and I also said it on Instagram. No, I said it in my emails, that Labor Day for me kind of equals when things started moving. I started working the hardest right around Labor Day weekend because it's the anniversary. So clearly I was launching my podcast 7 years ago. I was launching my book 8 years ago. So for some reason, like God just kind of had it where Labor Day kind of represents like labor, like actually doing things. So it's very hard for me to slow down at this time because it's literally the time that I'm like, I feel this ramp up. Maybe it's just because that's what September represents for me. September represents a time where everything ramped up in my life. Things changed. I wrote books. I released things. We've got in my my church, Mental Life Church, we're releasing an album in 2 weeks. We got our Revive conference coming up. It's just like September is like this is it's a pause, like you said, much needed pause. It's a pause right before everything starts. Ron, I see you quiz. All right, so I'm going to send you the link to this quiz. Now, I promise, I please forgive me, anybody commenting quiz. It's not completely done. This is literally like I am probably going to finish it tonight, and I will maybe have the correct links, or you might run into a dead end. But Ron, I will get that to you. So if I see you put quiz, just make sure you're following me if you write quiz, because I need to be able to DM you. So as long as we're following each other, I can DM you the link to that. Okay. So I see Ron put quiz, and let me check over here on Instagram and Facebook. Nobody wants to quiz over there. So yeah, I'll keep this open for a little while. I'm probably not going to go live very long. Don't worry. I'm not one of those people to just talk forever. I had specific reasons why I did want to go live. One was to announce that there's no God and Gig show tomorrow. The 300th episode needs to wait until I actually have an episode and I've had a chance to breathe, that my wife and I have had a chance to kind of like collect ourselves and share. And then the second thing was this quiz that I'm working on that I'm really excited about, seeing how people are going to score on this. So once again, if you're just now coming in, if you'd like to see a not yet ready, but almost ready quiz, then type quiz in the comments and I will send that to you via DM. Or if you are already on my email list, I can also email you the quiz. Okay. And once again, this quiz is, I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it to you. Okay. What is this quiz? It says, what's your creative type right now? And I don't even know if I like that title. I put, what's your creative personality? Maybe that's better. Can you guys help me with this? What's a better word? If you can actually help me write this quiz, this would be awesome. What's a better word for a creative type? Should I write creative personality? What's your creative character? What's your creative, like, you can see, like, literally I'm making this up because I haven't even finished it yet. And that's why, like, I'm trying to make sure I don't mess it up before I share it with everybody. But yeah, where did I go? Wait, where's the group here? Okay, here we go. You know what I didn't do before I go any further? I didn't share this into any groups. So Facebook, I apologize if I'm okay. Alan Paul is live now. So let me at least share this into a group so you guys can see it, because I know a lot of people are like, Alan didn't go live because I didn't go live from God and Gigs. And you're just like, where is he? Okay, so let's do this. All right, here we go. All right. So now I've posted it. So if you guys have any ideas about that, please let me know. Okay. So yeah, I will get that to those of you who are asking for the quiz. I think I had one other quick announcement before I jump off and let you guys have the rest of your Labor Day. For those of you who are in God and Gigs, I am also doing a sale, a annual 50% off sale. It ends tomorrow night. That will be for 50% off our mastermind. So that's ends, and that's at God and Gigs. Let me put that in case people need it. godandgigs.com/summer24. So that's cool. If you want to get that in at a 50% off rate, I think that will bless some people, because I've had some amazing talks and some amazing mastermind meetings with some of our creatives that are in that group. And last but not least, I think it's probably good for me to share a little bit of the personal stuff. And I say personal, not necessarily like personal in terms of my family. Again, those of you who are blessing us and praying for us, thank you again. I got to keep saying that. Why are people doing fireworks on Labor Day? Are y'all hearing this? This might be going through. My mic might not be. Are y'all hearing fireworks? Is anybody else firing fireworks on Labor Day? What is going on? What is? There's a fireworks show going on here. Like literal fire, like serious fireworks. Serious as in like, the people that. What the? This was unplanned. Totally unplanned, but wow. Okay. So I wasn't expecting that. Fireworks on Labor Day. Who knew? I guess we found out now. Okay. So the personal stuff that I was mentioning, and it's kind of like a little bit of a anniversary / like come to Jesus moment. So let me share this with you, just so those of you who are watching this on replay as well kind of know where I'm at. I've been really kind of almost at a crossroads with God and Gigs and just what I do here. Obviously, I'm a musician, so I perform and I play gigs as a professional jazz and artist and musician. Most of you probably also know that I do podcasts and I have the God and Gigs show as well as producing other shows. And I'm a creative coach and a community curator. These are things I do. What I am struggling with is what I talk about really what I do? Because I talk a lot about gigs in the God and Gigs platform, but to be honest with you, I really haven't been doing any gigs recently, like at all. Like I've done like 2 or 3, maybe all summer, and summer is slow down here. Some of you guys know summer's slow. But my question to you is, honestly, when you hear this term God and Gigs, I don't know if this really defines who I am anymore. And here's why. I'm thinking that what I do kind of moves beyond gigs. And maybe some of you that follow me for a long time, you know what I mean? Like gigs was like the best way for me to describe what I was doing, but now I feel like it's not as even as good a word. So I'm not announcing that I'm changing the name of God and Gigs. I'm just saying it's harder and harder for me to figure out, like, okay, is this really who I am? Dennis, so good to see you, man. Jason also as well. Phil Roberts. I think this is Julie. Is that Julie Simons that's there? So is anybody else, as you're watching? Oh, I love this. Thank you, Love. There's nothing wrong with the pivot. Just be super creative about it. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Like it's a crossroads. Like I turned 50 this year and things just feel a little different. Like I'm moving in a different direction. God has moved me in a different direction. But it's not a way specifically like LaShonda, my friend LaShonda Brown and I. LaShonda is like one of my closest confidants when it comes to business and life, and really just, she's just a sister to me now, as well as an amazing business partner. Check her out at LaShondaBrown.com. Thank you, Jason. Yeah. I think we're all evolving. I want to make sure I make this about y'all, not just about me. I think we're all evolving. And again, this is just a season for me as I'm celebrating this anniversary that I really want to make sure you knew that I was working on these things as life throws all these things at us, and me and my wife, and we're learning, and my son and my daughter, my two sons, my daughter, all of us are like in a new place. And it's just, I want to make sure I give permission by living authentically in front of you. I don't do a bunch of social media posting. I don't do a lot of, oh, here's my family, here's this photo shoot. I don't do all that. It's never been me. And so it's probably why I wanted to do this for my personal pages, because this is more where if you're following me anywhere here, you're not a part of an audience, you're part of a community. One of my big things that I'm going to be preaching forever is I don't build audiences. This is not an audience. You guys are my community, your family. We don't do audience here. Okay. So that is really important to me. But yeah, I really would love your feedback. If you followed me and thought about this at all, if this is not part of your thought process, don't worry about it. But if you're evolving, maybe you come to a place where it's time for you to change and shift some things. And I do feel like that's where I am as well. God and Gigs right now is what it's called. I honestly am starting to wonder, like, is it shifting to what's beyond the gig, what's beyond just playing music? Because I love music and I'll always be a musician. Whatever you do, you God made you in a certain way, created you in a certain way, but it doesn't mean you're going to stay that way. And I do feel that even as I'm doing this, that there's something around the corner that might be totally changing and shifting. And I just have to pray about it and see what it is. And maybe you're in the same place. If you're watching this on replay and this Labor Day and you're just relaxing, you're like, okay, God, I'm just enjoying this day, but I have no idea what's going to hit me on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. And so, as I mentioned, my episode 300 is not coming out tomorrow. Perfect example. I was priding myself on releasing episodes every Monday. And now it's like, it's not coming out on Monday. The big episode, big 300 is not going to come out. And I don't feel any kind of worry about it. I actually feel peace that I'm no longer stressing about releasing an episode and doing the thing that I just said I have to do. Why? Because I made a commitment, but life has clearly pushed a lot of things out of the side. And so I'm now more comfortable being honest with you and saying, hey, yeah, like I can't do all these things the way I planned it. And that's actually okay. It's actually okay that I'm not doing that way. Level, I love this, man. Thank you so much. Imagine, let me just read out loud for those of you who are watching on Instagram, or on Facebook or YouTube. Imagine presenting to your community that God and Gigs is evolving, and you're expanding the community with whatever the new pivot will be. Take us on the journey with you, and let's all celebrate growth. Thank you for that, man. God sent you, bro. Like God sent you to here, and thank you for hanging out with me tonight, because I think that's why I felt like I just needed to talk to somebody. Because sometimes it gets lonely as creators, man. We get lonely, and it's like, and I do this so many times inside the community, and actually stepping outside a little bit and saying, you know what, I'm going to go live on my personal page, kind of open me up a little bit to say, yeah, like maybe I don't need to be so closed into just platform, brand. And yeah, like I need that too, y'all. Like we all needs permission to branch out. I agree. Thank you. This is seriously helping me. You're seriously blessing me this today. And I did not know what I needed when I said I was going to go live. But this is probably why I felt this move to do this. And again, I'm not going to waste your time all night. If you're watching this on replay, this is not my normal thing. I didn't decide to go live and play piano. If you're watching my personal page and you're like, okay, well, what is he doing? I am kind of sharing God and Gigs information, but it is important to my entire life. And I'm also sharing about thank yous to those of you who are praying for my wife and I and helping us out. So it was like an all-in-one kind of live, Labor Day live. I know a lot of people are going to be hanging out and relaxing tomorrow too, so you might not be checking emails. So I will do the quick synopsis of all the stuff I just talked about. 300 episode, not going out next week, tomorrow. We'll come out sometime this week, but it's just going to be whenever I finish it. Okay. He's like, whenever I finish it, the episode will come out. It's not going to be on Monday, and I'm cool with that. Like, I'm not stressing that. But I will do a 300 episode. It may be a week late, whatever works. And then the second one was, if you'd like to get a quiz that I'm working on for what kind of Christian creative, what kind of creative personality, I'm still naming the quiz, but if you'd like to get like a sneak peek of it and take this quiz in advance to see what kind of creative you are, even if you're not, by the way, this is even for people who don't consider themselves creative. That's probably that's probably something I need to make sure I name it. That is not necessarily just for creatives. It's for people who don't know if they're creative or not. It's like, are you a creative? And if you are creative, what kind of creative are you? So I'm going to do that as well, and make sure like I figure that out. But if you want that, just send me the name quiz, write quiz in the comments. Even if you're watching this on replay, put quiz in the comments, and that way I'll know. And we still got fireworks. Yo, this is so crazy. Anyway, and if you're watching me on YouTube or on Facebook, please comment so I know you're watching, and that way I can also send this to you. Lavelle, pray and let the Holy Spirit counsel on how that looks and what the name will be. I'm praying and believing with you. Thank you, man. And again, Lavelle, let me quickly find your episode so that they can listen to you. Where can I find it quickly? Let's go GodandGigs.com/ let's put your name. See what I named it. You were episode 183. So y'all go check out Lavelle's episode with me, because he is an awesome mind and just was so like real about the gospel CCM thing. There it is. Yep. Let's make sure the player's there. Oh shoot, the player's not there. Hold up. That's not good. I gotta make sure that the thing is broken. I'm glad we checked this, man, because your episode is not showing up the way it's supposed to. All right, let's grab this real quick. So I want people to be able to actually see and hear. There it is. All right, I have to change this real quick, and that's a long name. So I'm actually typing and working on this at the same time. I apologize, y'all. But I want Lavelle's episode to come out and make sure people can see it. And once again, you can see I'm working on Labor Day. I'm laboring on Labor Day. And that's what I'm trying to do to make sure y'all can actually catch this. Let me see. You're helping me out, man. So I'm just going to keep reading your comments because you're here. Oh, Paula's here. What's up, Paula? Paula. I got to say talk shh with P, okay? I got to keep it holy today because it's Sunday. Talk shh with P, okay? I like the concept of creative identity being a thing for creatives and individuals who have yet to discover themselves and their creative gifts. That's kind of where I'm at. And I think this is why I'm struggling with the God and Gigs thing going forward. Because I think what I'm starting to realize is that I am called to creatives, but not called to necessarily just a creative industry. Does that make sense? Because so many of us aren't necessarily in an industry. Like I've always felt this tension that I don't necessarily tell you how to make it as a musician or how to make it as a photographer. Like that's not like really what I do. And it's just so hard to like figure out what that thing is. So yeah, creatives identity being a thing for creatives and individuals. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Paula, if you want to chime in, please. We're talking about a million different things. I've been sharing about my 300th episode, which is my anniversary of my book, 8th anniversary of my book, which you can get anywhere on Amazon. God and Gigs: Succeed as a Musician Without Sacrificing Your Faith. No shame in plugging. If you haven't read my book, if you're a musician, church musician especially, that book is for you, okay? And then also I'm talking about if you want to get a quiz for me, which I'm working on right now. First thing I'm working on is making sure that I get my friend's link right, because I don't have his link and I can't even show people his episode because the link is wrong. So I'm in here actually working while y'all talking, and I'm following along trying to finish this. which is horrible for live streaming, but is honestly where we're at. This is exactly what's going on right now. This is what's going on. And I will promise you, I will make this more interesting next time. All right, I fixed it. Because that was driving me crazy. All right, so now you can go to godandgigs.com/183. And Lavelle, now you can actually see and hear, because we didn't do YouTube back then. That is Lavelle's episode with me. Okay, I feel better now. Because at first I was like, that Simony, thank you for praying for me and Leah. You know you are fam. Thank you so much. This is, I don't even know. Like, she might go on, like, she's watching movies right now. So I don't even know if she will come in and be like, why are you going live? Like, why aren't you? But we got our friends. We've been like just so covered. We have been so covered over the last month. It's been really overwhelming. Really overwhelming. And I just don't know how to thank everybody enough. And again, I feel bad because I don't want to go into details, but authentically speaking out loud, I am so grateful for our community. I'm so grateful for our Metro Life family. I'm so grateful for the God and Gigs community. I am so grateful for my music community. I am so grateful. I am so grateful. I am, my wife and I are beyond words with what we felt. And I just pray that what we do here at God and Gigs and what I do here at, all of my different brands, Sit, Sing, Swing, Keep the Music Playing, whatever you name it, what we do at Metro under ministry, that it helps more people experience what we experienced over the last month. And that, and that the people who are hurting get even more help than maybe they got before. And that I help equip more people to help people the way that I've been helped. The Bible says that he who waters will himself be watered. And, he that refreshes others will be refreshed. That's what we're feeling. And that's kind of where I'm at right now with just sharing this out loud and kind of not having any plan of going live, but feeling like I had something to share out loud and tell people. But yeah, I've been on 30 minutes. I'm not going to hang out much longer. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys have your Labor Day evening, Labor Day weekend. Thank you for joining me. If you are joining me right now, if you joined later and you watch this, once again, let me just give you a synopsis of all the crazy stuff that's happening in my life real fast so that you don't spend any more time. The Too Long Didn't Read version. 300th episode of God and Geek Show will not come out tomorrow. I will wait so I can actually work on it and think about it and do it right. Secondly, this 8th anniversary of the God and Gigs book and 7th anniversary of the podcast. So I appreciate all you guys who have been part of my journey of sharing podcasts and writing. So I'm doing a new quiz that goes with that about how to be a Christian creative, or what kind of Christian creative are you? If you want the draft version of that, type quiz in the comments, and that way I'll know to send it to you via DM or email if you're in the email. And you guys can check that out, because this is like very exciting what I'm working on with this quiz. And I'm just curious what you guys think of it. You can tell me whether it sucks, if you like it or not. So type quiz in the comments if you like that, or if you want that, I should say. And I think the last thing I just discussed was like this open kind of conversation of, are you moving past God and Gigs? Or are you moving into something else that's God and something else? Like, I don't know. I really don't know what it is. But thank you so much, all of you guys who joined me. This has really been a blessing to me. And I again, going from my personal pages was on purpose, because this is a place that I don't usually share this kind of stuff. I usually try to keep it very brand specific. If you're in God and Gigs, you get God and Gigs. If you're in my music platforms, you get music. And if you're on my other platforms, you get this and you get that. And I was like, okay, this is like, mind numbing. I don't know where I'm going anymore. So that is where, oh yeah, and then Lavelle's episode there, 183, you want to check that out. But thank you, Simony. I want to say, quiz. Okay, so Simony wants the quiz too. Okay, I got you. Okay, so I will send that to you, my friend. I would love to see what you think of this. So I will send that to you as well, my friend. But yeah, that's it. 35 minutes in. I don't think I need to hang out any longer. It is probably late. It's past 9 o'clock here on the Eastern side. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys have a wonderful Labor Day. I pray you have a beautiful Labor Day, a relaxing Labor Day. Hopefully you're all off from work. You get to make some memories with family and friends. I pray that you enjoy everything that you are doing in your work, whether it be creative or not, but especially those of you who are in my family, the God and Gigs creative community. Just keep an eye out. Again, those of you who are interested in joining my mastermind, that is Semini is the administrator, the brand ambassador for God and Gigs 360 Gold. Semini will tell you it is a tribe like no other. So there's a 50% off deal for that all the way through Labor Day at midnight. So if you're interested in that, go to godandgigs.com/summer24, the number 24. And yeah, I think that's it. I think I've done all the announcements and all that stuff. But thank you so much, you guys. Again, those of you who've been praying for us, and thank you so much for being a part of this. Thank you for watching the replay. If you watched the replay, let me know by commenting replay. But yes, God bless you guys. Thank you so much for being with me and being a part of my world. I love you. Praying for you. Thank you for being a part. And yeah, have an amazing Labor Day, everybody. All right. Take care.